Oh no! Oh my God!
Let's go. What's
Yo,
good? Good.
what's up? What's up? What's up?
Let me zoom in.
Wait, do I use my?
Yes, after. Yeah,
Yeah.
after. All right. So how's it going? Can you hear me?
I can hear you guys. Yeah, can you guys hear me?
But yeah, we can.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
So I didn't do this.
Where's the neons?
I didn't. There's,
I haven't turned them on.
I didn't do this last time, but let me real quick show everyone so you can see. Hello. So
Oh,
hi.
what's up, everyone? Yo.
Dude, what's
Damn.
good?
What's good? What's good, everyone? Let me turn the neon
Yeah.
lights for that.
Let's do. Let's go. All right.
You
So
guys need to clap, yo. Come on.
what's good, Melkey? So thank you so much for joining us. Once again, we were here last semester, and it was a really good workshop. Everyone got to enjoy hearing you from your experiences as an open source maintainer
Cool.
and also open source contributor. So today we're gonna do pretty much like similar to what we did last time. It's gonna be sort of like a Q&A
Yeah.
type of things. Kind of talked about it before. And you told me I shouldn't give you the questions like right out like beforehand, so
Yeah.
you can like improvise your answers and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I took that advice and I did the same. So I only have one question for you, like one big question, I guess.
Okay.
And then from there, I guess we can expand on like anything you would like to share with us.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
before we do that, would you like us to would you like to introduce yourself to the audience? For
Yeah.
anyone who doesn't know you, there's
Yeah.
like a couple people who are new. So,
Yeah. Can I share? Do you think it'd be possible to share my screen or not?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Let me just click share screen here, and then you tell me if you can see it or not.
Oh, I can.
You
I
can.
got you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Cool. No. Can you guys still see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'll make this quick. Hi everyone. Thank you for having me back. I really enjoy getting a chance to meet everyone, talk, and I really appreciate you being asked to even do this. I think it's really awesome, and yeah, keep doing all of this. I wish when I went to school that there was a group of dedicated people who loved computer science and coding as much as you guys do. But yeah, hi. Hey again. My name is Melkey. I work as a machine learning infrastructure engineer at Twitch. I've been there for over 3.5 years. So I started as like a junior engineer, and I got all the way to senior. I built out the ML AI team, and there's a lot of hype around that right now. So it's pretty cool. I stream coding, well, not as much because I took a big break, but you can find me on twitch.tv/Melkey. I stream there as well, so I'm gonna resume the streams. I'm active on YouTube, so you can check out my YouTube. We just passed 50K subscribers. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. That's been huge. Yep, thank you. And then some of the stuff I built, Go Blueprint, it's like 7.3 thousand stars in GitHub. I have PFG Labs, astrostation.me, a bunch of other like projects I built, resuai.io, a bunch of projects I'm currently building, which I can even share if we get to that. Stay tuned. I'm going to be dropping a platform coming up real soon. And yeah, so I'm always tinkering, always building stuff. I guess I have this kind of known to be the Go guy, or a Go person. And I've taught previous Go courses, tutorials, a lot more. And actually just released a brand new Go course from Front End Masters. This is the most complete course I've ever built. It's a brand new course. It has all this stuff. So it's like the Go basics, control structures, scaffolding, API project, testing, auth layer, middleware, like all that stuff is there. It's like 8 hours and change of content. And for those of you who are on the Student Pro GitHub package, you actually get it for free. So if that's something that you're curious about, want to learn Go, and you have the time to dedicate to learn like a complete, like real, like zero to hero. Sorry, my dogs are going crazy. Zero to hero. I'll link it down below. But that's it. that's really the gist of what I want to introduce myself. So yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. So if you send me that link, I'll definitely like post it on the Just Chatting chat for us, so you guys can see it. By the way,
Yep, I just sent it.
yeah, it's completely free for you guys. So definitely like check it out.
Yeah, if
And
you have GitHub Pro, and I'm pretty sure GitHub Pro still offers like the student disc. So if you're a student, you get GitHub Pro. So if you do have that, you can get this course for free.
I think we do. So we should have GitHub Pro except for Ethan. Because she graduated. Oh, you still have it? Okay, awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So, my question I have for you today is, I guess it's kind of gonna be like a long response answer. How you take it. So, Melkey, from when you first got introduced to CS in general, like programming, whether it's like university or not, can you like walk me through your journey from getting started all the way uh, all the way to you like landing a job in Twitch and becoming a online content creator and making such a big impact in the content space and everything in between? Would you like to do that?
Yeah, wow, that's a pretty loaded question. I'll be brief. I don't want to bore the people who may have other questions. I don't really like, as a content creator, you kind of have to talk about yourself all the time, and I don't really like doing that, especially in these moments. Like I really want to like help people more. I want to learn about you guys more than talk about myself. But like the TLDR, I went to school for mechanical engineering. That's my undergrad. I didn't go to school for CS. But in my last year, I was doing internships, and it just weren't paying enough to pay my bills and my loans. And instead of going back to school for a CS degree, I didn't have enough time, and I didn't have enough time because I had to pay off these debts that are accumulating pretty crazily because I had to pay for school all by myself, and I had to get a line of credit out. And so what I did was I just taught myself how to program online via YouTube and streaming myself. So that's how I started to stream. I want to be accountable, so that's why I started my streaming thing. I just learned how to like write React code during the day on stream, and at night I would do Python. And I got to a point with ML, and this is like way before. This is like when TensorFlow and PyTorch are just releasing. Like there's no LLMs, nothing like that. I was able to create like a little quick project. I pitched it to a professor at a university who was in charge of the AI department. He liked it, and he said, you know what, like I'll give you like a full ride if you like do this stuff. And like it was under like a bunch of conditions that to maintain average, whatever. But that's basically, I was able to get a master's in AI because of that. And then from that, after I graduated, I did my thesis. I defended the thesis. I had the whole thing, published author. I'm not going to tell you guys what I wrote because I don't like the technology I built. It was basically CCTV tracking. So like it's like using these filters and an AI to track you between CCTV cameras, which is like not a technology I want to create and develop anymore. So I'm not really proud of the thesis. But it was like 18 pages published, whatever. And then yeah, I just got a job at like a startup as their lead ML guy. They were just like, we don't know what we're doing. Can you help us? I didn't know what I was doing, so I did it. Did that for a year. We then got acquired, and then after the acquisition, I was able to land a job at Twitch. And then here I am, 2.5 years later.
Cool. That's awesome. So when you got you like presented your project to one of the professors and then they asked you to work full time, like as a researcher, I guess.
Yep.
I see. So that's how you like truly got started into CS. So unlike most of us, you started as a mechanical engineer. And then I guess like out of like I don't want to say necessity, but maybe like as a something like a resource you saw, you used that as an opportunity to become more involved into programming.
What were your... I wrote code was I was 22 when I first wrote my like very first line of code, so I was way older than the majority of you are right now. So yeah, like I was late to the game. So like it's just encouraging to see how many of you have been coding for so long already and are just like thirsty for more knowledge. I think it's like the coolest thing. But yeah, like I mean, if I could do it at 22, like you guys could conquer it way way better than I'd ever did.
I see. So, but I mean, like, regardless of that, you must have taken like, because you mentioned you did streams as part
Yeah.
of you, getting into coding. So, like, I feel like that takes a lot of discipline just by, waking up every day and getting into stream to get better at coding. So, um, was there like a factor for you where you like got, you know, I guess got you super motivated to do that? Was there like anything that you found coding like super, I guess, like appealing for you in that sense?
Yeah, so a small correction, like during the day, I would actually go and do like I would study for my master. I'd take courses. Like I took 8 courses my
Mm,
first semester. So I
mhm,
was pretty much busy from like 7 a.m. to like 8 p.m. courses doing that, and then I would stream from like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. So that was like my schedule. But really, like I think even today, I really enjoy programming because it's I think it's the closest thing we have to magic, as cheesy as that sounds. Like you could literally build something out of nothing, like out of literally thin air. You can get something that's in people's phones, on their computers, in their Apple Watch, whatever. I think that's just the coolest thing, and I think like a lot of people can explore the differences of like what they like about coding. And for me, it was building stuff. Like I always loved building apps. As you saw, like I listed a bunch of apps. I have the open like I just love building, and I continue to build stuff. Other people like the granularity, like the details of programming, the nuts and bolts, like the lowest level of program, like memory management, memory allocation, that's like C level and Rust and all that. And I truly think like whichever path you go to, like even if it's not those two, even if there's more paths, like programming just gives everyone this kind of flair to do something they want to do. And for me, yeah, I just like fell in love with the fact that like I can build anything I want. If I want to build a website that's like comparing hot dogs, I can build that. If I want to build an iPhone app that's like scanning if someone has red hair or if they're a chihuahua, I could build that. Right? Like the craziest thing I can think of, I could literally make it happen. And like that was just like unbelievable. Like it's still unbelievable to this day. And with LLMs, like it's even more readily accessible than ever before.
so true. Um, what were your difficulties or your challenges you went through your coding journey? I guess if there's like highlights of places where you like had challenges or like struggle.
I think like imposter syndrome, everyone faces imposter syndrome, right? Especially me, like I was a bit older as an L4. A lot of my colleagues were like younger L4s. Some of them got promoted even to like the next level before me to like mid-level. And so it really made me feel like like that's like, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I am like bottom of the barrel kind of capability. Um, but then like you kind of passed that, and then like now I'm like one of the youngest seniors at Twitch. So it's funny how things kind of happen like that. But yeah, I think imposter syndrome, like everyone's gonna face it. And I really want to say something like no matter how good, like for the people who think they're like the best coder in the room, like no matter how good you really think you are, like you're really not. And like that's like for being real, like you're really not a good programmer. Um, and like a lot of people like, and you may think someone's good but they're not. Like a lot of people think like the Primogen's the greatest programmer ever, like he isn't. Surprise surprise, like he's not like all that good of a programmer. I'm not either. um and so like you kind of, for me it was once I started to meet more people and understand like everyone's pretty doo-doo at programming, and there's really only like that one in every 100 200 people that's really like know what they're doing. It made it easier for me to be like, okay, cool, like I'm not alone, like everyone's equally as bad. And so yeah, that's how I conquered imposter syndrome. But that was a big one. For a long time I had serious imposter syndrome for a while there.
I feel like a lot of people will have imposter syndrome. I personally do too.
Yeah,
It just takes a Twitter post and
that's it.
looking at someone's GitHub commit history to be like, damn, shit.
Yeah.
But I think that's a really like important highlight. The fact that everyone starts from somewhere, and at some point you will suck, but it's just a matter of like sucking less.
Yeah,
like
it's literally
over.
just like it's just like suck let like that's it. Like you're still gonna be shit in like 5 years. Like surprise, surprise. Um, and like stuff's always gonna be changing and like the like all that. So yeah.
So how do you become less shit though? What's your way you would consider
I
becoming
mean,
better at your
yeah, I
craft?
mean, for me, it was like identifying like what like. So I found Go, and I really liked it. Like it just resonated with me, and I was like, okay, cool. Like this language makes sense to me, like functionally. Yeah, it's not like the sexiest thing. Yeah, it's not like the most intricate thing to use. Like there's different languages that kind of provide a better experience, like OCaml, Rust, whatever. But it just like it worked for me, and then I just got good at that one thing. I just got really good at Go, and then sorry, my dogs are fighting. That's what you hear in the background. Um, and I kind of just understood like, okay, that's like Go is a language I can get really good at. And then instead of trying to be like the best at like web dev and the best at like backend systems and the best at communicating and the best at lead code, I kind of just picked like one or two that I really want to be the best, like as best I could be. And I just accepted that I'm going to be really bad at the other. So like at lead code, I'm like completely like I'm so bad at lead code. Like I'm terrible. Lead code is just like I'm so bad at it. Um,
Same,
but
bro.
by design, like I've maybe put in my life like not that much time into lead code, and so it makes sense why I'm so bad at it because you compare to how much time I've put into Go, compared to how much time I've put into building apps that have like backend systems connect to a front end, like it just makes sense that lead I'm gonna be the worst at lead code. And then the second thing I'm worst at is like front end. Like I don't use Next.js. I don't use any of the cool Vercel things. I literally spin up React version like 17, React Router DOM, Zustend, and Tailwind, and like that's all I use. Like if I maybe need a package to do like a very particular thing, I'll import it, but I don't use anything else, and I keep it like that by design because that's what I'm comfortable with. Anything beyond that, I'll just get worse. Like if I had to integrate Next.js and like the
Mhm.
use server, use client hooks, I would be so garbage. It wouldn't even be funny. So I just picked what I'm good at and just kept being good at those little elements.
Mhm. Would you say like experimenting with multiple different areas of coding might also be helpful in discovering like what you like to do?
Yes, definitely. I definitely think you should like people should build, man. Like my biggest thing is like there's so like now it's kind of like it's the pendulum has swung. Like too many people are building garbage, and it's like you hear like oh you gotta just ship it fast, ship. Like the pendulum has swung to like too many people building very bad apps. Whereas before it was nobody was building anything, and mostly people were studying like the theory of computer science and like optimizing like milliseconds. Um, so I'd say like strike a balance. Like I definitely think I actually just came back from being a volunteer at a boot camp where I was interviewing the people who are part of the cohort, and a lot of them would be able to like kind of explain their answer to my technical question, but when I asked them
Mhm.
to like start pseudocoding it up, they couldn't. They got lost, they got stumped, they had to Google everything. Even I said like Google and ChatGPT, they couldn't figure it out because it lacked the technical like side of things as well. So I would say experiment, but like be smart at how you experiment. Like don't just read a book about like six different languages and then say you know six different languages, right? Like read a book, maybe read a book about like sorry, my dog is biting my toe. This dog is biting my toe.
It's beautiful dog. Yes,
It's not a dog. That's a dog.
It's a dog.
Yep. That's the
Yeah,
goat.
okay.
the goat
So
dog.
yeah. And yeah, so I would just say like, don't I'm blurry now. Yeah, so like read maybe two books and then like apply that. So I think it's really balancing it out.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
experimenting is very important.
that makes a lot of sense. Yes. Something that we all should consider as well. But in terms of like, mm, okay, I think I'm gonna shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
So you've you mentioned like you did research, and then you became part of a startup,
Yeah.
and you know, how was like that startup environment? Was it
Mm.
like shit fast or like
It was
do stuff
crazy.
fast?
No, it was crazy. Mine was crazy and crazy because I joined a startup with a bunch of Ukrainians and Russians, and like,
Wow.
yo, they don't give a shit about you. Like, actually, like they don't care about you at all. So it was like pure, just like get this done. I don't care why you can't, and if you can't, I'm gonna yell at you in front of everyone. So it was like a hectic environment. And because first, like I was just a brand new grad. I wanted to prove myself. I had imposter syndrome. I had all of that we just talked about. I was like shitting bricks. I was like, I can't believe they hired me. That's like that was my. I was like, I can't believe I have a job. Okay,
Mm.
and so they sent me the laptop. I never used. I used my home computer. And yeah, dude, it was hectic. Like I couldn't get Docker running, and so on day one, and so the CTO got into a call with me, and he's like, "Are you a dumbass? Like, can you not read the error traces?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, holy shit, I am. I'm sorry." Like, and yeah, so it was like pretty intense for the first like 4 months. Like a bunch of people would cry, because the environment was pretty hectic. But then you kind of get a groove of things, you know, you kind of find your I don't know how to say it, like your mold, and then yeah, it everything kind of irons itself out.
Mhm. Yeah, but was it like I guess through like the pain of like the job itself, was that like a good learning experience overall? Were
Yeah,
you
yeah,
able to
for
like
sure.
learn a lot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like what I talked about earlier is like, you know, being a grad student and not having a lot of any internship because like, you know, I was late to the game. I didn't really know what it meant to be like a programmer. You know what I'm saying? Like I only did stuff for like a project or like a research paper. And then when you get to the real world, it's like super different. It's like very different. And so that was like very helpful. Like that was like an eye-opening experience. It's like, oh, like this is what is software engineering. Like this is truly what it's about. And so
Mhm.
yeah, that was a very valuable experience for me.
I see. Awesome. At I think at what point, or like at one point, you were introduced to open source software. You mentioned that last semester. I
Yeah.
think was it through NeoVim?
Yeah.
Could you explain a little bit of that experience and maybe like an overall like takeaway from it, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, I was baffled that open source stuff existed for the longest time. I was like, why is just like if your company's open source, like someone's gonna steal your code. Like that was
Hmm.
my opinion. So I was like completely baffled about like this concept of open source coding. I didn't understand it. Um, but obviously like the more you explore and the more mature you become, like it's you can't just do that. And there's a lot of like repercussions for anyone who does try to steal something. Um, But yeah, like I was using VS Code for like the first 2 3 months of me trying to be a programmer, and then I met the Primogen, and he's like, "You should use Vim. You should use Vim." And I was like, "I don't even know what that is." And then we met TJ, and TJ was like, "You should use NeoVim." And I'm like, "I have no idea what any of these things are." And like this was like again 3 months into programming, so I barely knew how to write anything. And
How did you meet
yeah,
them? Were you like friends of them?
yeah, like through streaming. Yeah, we became friends through streaming.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So I knew Prime when he was like streaming to like 100 people. You know, like when he was like didn't have a YouTube channel. And so yeah, we all just kind of talked about NeoVim because Prime he used just pure Vim before. He just used pure Vim. They don't have a NeoVim as his
Mhm.
editor. And then yeah, we met TJ and he was like a maintainer of NeoVim, and we used it, and that's it. The rest is history.
So, that was, and then you also did you do like a contribution to NeoVim, or was it just you looking at the source code and
No, I
like telling
contribute.
you?
No, I contributed to NeoVim very early on with the help of TJ. Um, but I was like a little too overwhelmed with it. I like didn't understand. Like it was just, I think it was a small contribution, like maybe like a one or two liner. Um, and then that was it. And then I contributed to Theo's Create T3 app.
Mhm.
Um, and then I contributed to a bunch of other projects that like my friends were using and stuff. And then I decided to make my own. So
Yeah. Eventually, you made like I think Astro Station. I don't know which one's
yeah,
your first one. Was
yeah.
Astro Station the first one?
Yeah, I think Astro State was my first like true open source project. Or maybe there's another. I don't remember. It was like there's like a lot of them, dude. So I it's hard for me to remember.
Hmm. I see. That's awesome. Yeah.
Hmm.
So and really love like hearing like all of these experiences. I feel like it's really interesting to see how some like a content creator impactful like you could like go through your journey and
Hmm.
like becoming really good at programming and like inspiring others to do so as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Would
I
you
wouldn't say I'm really good, but
I think you're pretty damn good, personally. But would you have like some maybe like some personal advice that you could
mm,
give to the audience?
yeah,
Think of us like college students trying to go through classes and
yeah,
maybe also like trying to apply for jobs and whatnot.
yeah. I mean, it's gonna be tough because like a lot like so my birthday's tomorrow and I'm turning like
Oh,
28, and
great.
so I'm close to 30, you know, and I'm like, damn, like my life 5 years ago at 23 was so different than it is at 28. But I really think like I have like three main things I'd recommend. One is as software engineers and as people who like gonna be behind a computer, like don't lose touch of your communication skills. I will tell you the thing that sets apart most engineers in any FANG adjacent anything is the engineer who can communicate. The engineer who can do more than just prompt and type code, right? Let's be real, a lot of us are prompting nowadays and it's totally fine. So you need to have the ability to communicate your technical ideas, your technical implementations to non-technical people. Okay? So I know in school they drill you with like a bunch of like core technical CS patterns and tests like that, and I think that's important. But don't min max into that. Like I strongly, strongly encourage you guys to keep communication at its highest value because it will be one of the most important vehicles for everyone to progress in your career. Whether you're going to be an entrepreneur, whether you're going to be a part of a startup, or whether you're going to join a FANG big tech adjacent company, communication is going to be the thing that sets you apart more than any kind of technical implementation. That's
What
one.
would you what would you define good communication in your
Like
case? Would
just
it be
like yeah,
asking
like I
questions?
said, yeah, like asking questions, but like you have to learn like a person talks a lot isn't good at communicating. A person who just asks a question for the sake of asking a question is not a good communicator. Like at one point they became a person who wastes time, right? Um, so it's like getting to the point and drilling down technical like ideas in non-technical ways. Like if I was to explain to you like about Redis and the latency and about Redis and how it works under the hood, like I'm sure you could pick it up because we're both technical people. But for a person who's like a project manager or like a marketing person who don't even know Redis, like you can't start talking about the underlying infrastructure or the underlying implementation of key value stores and how it's mapped and like time complexity. Like that's just like that's not the room at all, right? You have to kind of sell them on it as like it's a super cool database that you can retrieve things very, very fast, and like something like around those lines. So, yeah, that would be kind of an example of good communication, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, another thing I would definitely say is don't neglect your health. As weird as that is, like the reason why I said like I'm turning 28 tomorrow, it's like the investment you put into your health now, the younger you are, so that's like your diet, your exercise, your mental health too. Like mental health is also very important. Like put a good barometer if you're burnt out or not. Um, like it pays off in the long run, right? Like more and more people get sick, more and more people are just like having some serious like you know experiences, whether it's mental or whatever, physical, that cause them to not enjoy life as much as they used to. So as much as you think it's important to like study and like put effort into a project and like really get it to the highest level it can, I think there's a time and place. I think there's definitely pockets of time where you absolutely have to log in, grind in, pull some all-nighters, drink a couple energy drinks, smoke a jewel, do whatever you have to do to like log in and deliver a thing. Yeah, like I agree, those happen, but that cannot be like the baseline. You cannot do that 24/7. And so you really have to pay attention to your health, and yeah, don't let that slip. Do not let your baseline health slip. Yeah, and then I guess the third one is like enjoy coding. Like that's as cheesy as it is. Like if you enjoy programming, find what it is. And again, maybe I'm gonna say this, and maybe most people will disagree and think I'm an idiot, which is fine. Don't chase the money. Um, it's super hard, and it's like one of the hardest things to do. And again, like go if you want to chase the money, go ahead and do that. Um, but I highly recommend chase happiness more. I think it has a better long-term investment, a return on investment than chasing uh, immediate money. But that's just my opinion. That one can be subject to debate. But that's kind of three things I can think of that hopefully resonates with at least one person in the room.
I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think I do keep like thinking of like the point of like health as something that really like take care of and just keep it easy on your body. I think we recently had that where we were talking about hackathon that we did like very recently, and then one of our points was if you want to pull an all-nighter, that's good, but you should also keep it easy on your body because not only is it going to be worse for you in terms of mental and physical like sake, but also like your performance is going to be worse as well.
For sure. 100%.
Okay, so thank you so much, Melky, for joining us.
Yeah.
And for again, well, I guess should we like happy birthday?
No,
Okay,
don't worry.
okay, everyone was seeing.
No, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this, guys. Don't worry. I'm gonna interrupt you. You don't have to sing happy birthday or anything. I appreciate it. If anyone else has any questions, you can.
Yeah, I
whoever's
think
still
at
there,
this
you can ask
point,
them.
we're gonna have Sama. She's gonna go over the room. If anyone has any questions, please raise your hand right now so we can go to you and have you have Milky answer questions. Let me mute Sama. Okay, so a question coming up right now.
Cool.
Hello.
Hey.
All right. Yeah, my question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, my question is like, how do you resist the pull of like all the cool new like frameworks and technologies that like appear every day, and like stay focused on the thing you're good at?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think what happens is at first you're like, oh, I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna try the new thing everyone's talking about, and then you try it out, and you're like, oh, this is actually pretty bad. You're like, what? Like this is I thought it'd be way better. Like it didn't hit my expectations, and you kind of do that once or twice, 3 times, 4 times, and you're like, I'm just wasting my time. So for me personally, whenever there's like a new framework that comes out, I'm never a first adopter. I let that thing simmer. I let it marinate. See if there's like the first round of people to like deliver the bugs and they make the fixes. And then if it's still as hype and as talked about, that's when I jump into it. So like an example like Zig, when Zig just came out, I was like, okay, I'm gonna let this simmer. Like I don't really want to do anything about this. And then like I just saw more people use Zig for cool products. And I was like, okay, cool. Like there's something there. Like there's definitely something I want to try out. And so Zig has been the newest thing that I've been actually experimenting with. So yeah, I think it's just picking your battles. Understanding that a lot of times things will be overhyped. A lot of times like someone will pay like an influencer to like retweet their product. It's like all that stuff. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone has any more questions? Ready?
Oh, go ahead.
Hi. I
Yo.
see. I have kind of a fun question for you. So I see you have one of the Go plushies behind you. Do you think that the mascot accurately represents the language, or do you think they should change it?
Yeah, that is an interesting question. That's a good one. Yeah, I don't, they look pretty dumb. I don't know. They're looking pretty dumb. I can't lie. I would actually say that the mascot is more fun than the actual language. Okay, I look at that mascot and I can't help but laugh and be like, "Oh, that's such a fun little thing." I feel like a Go mascot would be like, I don't know, like a piece of plain bread or something, with eyes. Like it would be something just very generic, very plain, uh, but reliable, like always working, like no matter what happens, you can always rely on it, like a tire or something, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think this is just, I think it's good marketing. The cool story about it actually is Rob Pike, the guy, the team leader of Go, he outsourced the person to draw this, and it was a Japanese artist. And the first version of it was like way crazier. And so both the Japanese artist and Rob Pike, they kind of dumbed it down into what we have today. But yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, of course.
Anyone else has a question for you? I think it's hard to do.
Hey Melkey, how's it going?
Yo, good man. How are you?
Okay, so I had a question. So I actually had a question about like what would be like the best way to divide up your day on like learning a new skill, especially like coding. I've heard in the past that the most effective way or one of the most effective ways of learning a skill is to start in the morning by kind of like consuming some new material, like reading upon like new languages or
Mm-hmm.
like CSS grids or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then using noon to afternoon to what's it called, to kind of create something or to practice what you just read up in the morning.
Mm.
Do you kind of agree with that, or do you think there's like a better way of actually learning something new on a certain day?
No, I think yeah, like that's actually a good question. I think that approach sounds good to me, right? I think right now as like students, you guys have the luxury of time. You guys have a lot of time available to you, right? Even if you think you don't, you do. And so like that I think just sounds good. Like if you can wake up in the morning, read a bunch of material, just kind of put in your brain first thing, then do your day, and then maybe apply that night. Like that definitely sounds good. The only thing maybe I could say is the best way to learn anything is to force yourself to use it in like a make it or break it scenario. That way it really sticks. So for example, let's say you want to rewrite something you've already written in this new language, right? You can tell yourself, okay, I'm not going to use the other language until I rewrite it in my new language. And you force yourself to do it. And so for me, like that strategy of like really putting yourself in an environment that forces yourself to apply whatever it is you're trying to learn is a very helpful way to learn. Or like if you have a deadline, or like you know what, for me, when I joined Twitch, they used Go, and I had no Go experience. So it's like you better learn Go, or you're not going to be good at your job. So that was like another example of like sink or swim, and I think those are the best scenarios.
Perfect. Thank you.
Of course. Thanks for the question, man.
Yeah, forward.
Oh, happy early birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. We got one question to say.
Hey Melkey, how's it going?
Hey.
I had a question for you. So you were mentioning earlier how as a content creator, you're kind of used to like talking about yourself, like I guess pitching yourself in a way. What would you say are like the tips that you would give to like do so, like whether it be in the workplace or like just networking, that kind of thing?
Oh yeah. I would say like having confidence is very, very key. And a lot of people, they can like, you probably heard this before, they can like smell confidence off of you, right? Like, I think there's a difference between arrogance and confidence, right? We all probably know a person, you can probably point to them in the room who's like over arrogant, right? And it's like, he's kind of an asshole, but whatever. But confidence, it's like the silent person who's confident. And I think whenever you can talk to someone and they ask you questions and you can confidently answer it without being arrogant, that is like the most important selling point. So whether it's like making a video or any kind of content, be confident in yourself and be confident in whatever it is you're making. So if you're making a video, be confident in that video. Don't be like, like I don't know if they're gonna like this. Like that's not gonna like obviously it's gonna fail, right? So yeah, and if you talk to someone, just being confident in subject matter, I think could take you very, very far. And like another thing for networking, whenever anyone's networking, make sure you shake their hand and like look in their eyes. That's something I learned when I was like 12 years old. It's like shake their hand, look them in the eye, introduce yourself, and never shake someone's hand sitting down. Never do that.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for the advice.
Yep.
Okay, does anyone have more questions at the moment? Maybe later. Seems like we got most questions asked. Cool, that's awesome. Okay, let me unmute myself.
Okay. Thank you, Melkey, so much for taking the time
Yep.
to be a guest speaker for us once again.
Of course.
And I have one last question. So how can people reach out to you, or what's your there's anything that you would like to share with us, like your your YouTube, your Twitch, so that people can like join your community and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to join, you can join my Discord server. That's probably the best way to kind of reach out. I can send you a link to it right now.
I can also send it myself too. I'm
Yeah.
on the Discord.
Cool. I just sent it regardless. So I sent that. If you want to join a Discord, it's like a it's not the biggest community, right? But it's like a decent amount of people who are in there doing cool stuff. It's a great way to meet people. A lot of people have got jobs from my Discord, which I'm super happy to hear. So maybe there's an opportunity to network and just meet some people. And yeah, and I think the only other thing is if you really want to support me, try to watch the course, the Become a Professional Go Developer. I think that's the best way, better than watching my YouTube and my streams. Just if you really want to help me out, that would be the best way to do it.
Of course, yeah. And we also linked that, so you guys should be able to check it out if you're interested in Go and becoming a backend engineer through Go. Definitely check it out.
Yep.
And it's free for you, so
Yep.
definitely, I'll definitely do it as well. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, Melkey, again. One last couple of things I want to say. Oh yeah, happy early birthday. Hope you enjoy your day, man. And also congratulations on 50K subscribers. Really great job.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm very proud of it.
Before you quit the call, because I know you're super busy and stuff with your dogs and whatnot, would it be okay if we can take like a picture with you with
Yeah.
everyone in the room? So I don't think you would be able to see us like on the board, but trust, we're gonna take a picture and I'll send it to you.
I'll just smile.
This one. Okay, so everyone, if you guys want to stand up close to the board, let me also there you go.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Sweet. I'm finally the tallest in the room.
I will get the ladder.
Yeah.
Wow,
There's a lot of you. Holy.
Biggest couple.
No.
How much are we on? Like this or say go Lang. Go
Lang. Nice. Great. Thank you guys. Thank you.
No, of course, thank you.
And keep building stuff. Yeah, everyone, like go build something. Like build a side project, go contribute. If you need somewhere, if you've never contributed before, contribute to one of my projects. Just find something and just contribute it. Yeah, you start like getting used to that kind
Yeah.
of style.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much, Melkey. I'll send you the pictures, and we might have some more questions for you if we have attendance form, which we created. So I'll just send it to you after. But again, thank you so much for joining us.
Sweet. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Until next time.
Have a good one. Thank you.